Okay. Right. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. So this company, they had produced the world's cheapest car. Uh, I don't know how many of you would believe they produced a car for $3,000. $3,000. They produced a car, and that would come up to roughly maybe 1.5 lakhs, 2 lakh rupees. And this car was called as Tata Nano. Even now, this company has produces vehicles, but then they produced the cheapest car called the Tata Nano. In India, this car is no more sold, but if you look in the olden pictures, you will find the version of this car. Now, why I tell you about this car is this car was an idea of Ratan Tata. You must have heard about Ratan Tata, right? And this car, his idea was, he created a story, or this is the story he said why he started this car. Is he said he saw a family of three people going in a bike, right? In a cities like Bangalore, you must have seen a lot of people, three, four, husband, wife, kids, all going in a scooter or a bike. So what he thought is, he thought I should produce a car which is cheap. Okay, that's where his idea became. Now that's what I wanted to teach you today. Our topic is entrepreneurship process, and these are the topics we are going to study under this entrepreneurship process today. Um, I think Salim used to, before he used to type all this and share it to the class. I think today also he'll be able to do that. Uh, I'll start with this. I don't see any more people in the group today. Somehow our attendance is less today. I'm talking about, let me see how many people we have. We have five, six, seven, around seven people today, right? And we're going to start with idea generation and evolution. That's the first step. How entrepreneurs start their business. They start with, yeah, six people have joined, or seven. One people are following their own time, or the time which they I have, which is mentioned in the attendance in the timetable, right? So what happens here is we've got business people who have ideas. Now you don't start a business just out of the blue. Uh, you have to have an idea when you start a business, and that idea can come at any point of time. Maybe when you walk on the streets of Bangalore, that idea might come to you. Maybe that idea might come to you when you are eating food in a restaurant. Maybe that idea might come to you in different aspects, in different thoughts. Maybe that idea might come to you when you visit a foreign country. Most people, when they visit countries in other parts of the world, they think that idea they should have in India. And is this somebody's phone is switched on, voice is switched on, right? So that's about idea generation. And ideas need to evolve. Maybe that idea you might think about, maybe starting uh, s- producing a small car as Ratan Tata taught. Maybe that idea might be thought about in terms of opening a contactless restaurant. Maybe that idea might be in the form of having a robot. Suraj, your network, I have to mute you. Right, Suraj is on. Okay, that idea can be in different shapes, and it is the job of the entrepreneur to evolve that idea. Some of you might have heard about Darwin's theory, right? Darwin had a theory in biology which most people don't agree because of our cultural factors. But his theory was, uh, he said human beings evolved from apes. Now, when you come to business, like this, ideas need to evolve, ideas need to change. Today, when you're talking about diseases, people are talking about starting restaurants which have robots working in them, which have restaurants. Even in Bangalore, 6 months back, 1 year back, I remember visiting a robot operated restaurant in the Indiranagar part of Bangalore. So, what happens is people change their ideas, people evolve their idea. Maybe initially you must have thought of running a restaurant with 10 people, 20 waiters, 5 chefs, and so on. Maybe even, who knows, teaching might evolve. Teaching might be happening. Uh, I was reading about Oxford University and Cambridge and all in UK. They are having classes online till 2021. So a lot of things are evolving. A lot of evolvement is happening around the world, right? And ideas for the businessman should evolve. Maybe you might think about starting a hospital. Later on, you might think, why should I put doctors and nurses in my hospital? Why don't I appoint robots? Okay. Have you heard about a robot? Amal, do you know who is a robot? Amal Joseph. He's gone. Okay, fine. I'll go to the next topic. Next topic is starting up and evaluating the entrepreneur. So, this is the biggest problem which an entrepreneur has. What he does is he thinks about evaluating the opportunity. Let's say my thought is I should have a restaurant with robots. I should have a restaurant which has cooks in the kitchen who are robots. I should have a restaurant where there is takeaways happening. Then what can happen is, maybe that idea might look good now, but it might have its problems. Maybe that uh, robot might go against human beings. So I should evaluate the opportunities. Maybe now an idea might look good to me, but 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, ideas don't look good. You know, as I told you about Indian railways, right? Majid, have you traveled in Indian trains? Okay. Do you know when this business started? When this Indian railway started? It's, it started in 1850, around 1850. Nearly 200 years back it was started. Okay. And even now we are using this to bring back maybe something like 2 million to people have come from different parts of India to their homes because of Indian railways. So why did I tell you about this idea is Indian railways have become the best modes of transport in these times. Okay, even though it has its demerits, even though people don't like traveling in Indian railways have turned out to be a great opportunity, and that's the job of the entrepreneurs. He should think about his business, and he should think about how these businesses can be great opportunities for him. Okay, but unfortunately this is a government uh, opportunities. Okay, and then you should have a business model. How am I, what's a business model? That's a question. Okay, now you might wonder, uh, does business have models? There is a way of receiving cash, and there is a way of getting money from people. That's what is called as business model. The model for a bank might be taking deposits, giving loans, collecting interest, making profits. The model for a Restaurant might be giving food, taking cash from people. So no business can survive without a model. You should have a model, and this model happens from time to time. Nowadays, what happens is business models get tested because of change in time and change in technology because of diseases. Models can keep changing. Okay, then you should be aware of business plan. I must have told you what's a business plan in my last class. It is a written document showing how businesses work, how businesses operate. And have any of you read business plans anywhere? No. Have you guys read what's a business? Sorry? Oh, you have done business plan? Yeah. Okay, good. So what happens in the business plan is you write your dream into in paper. So what happens is when you write your dream in paper, then the you get funding from banks, you get mentors helping you out. A lot of thing comes out through this business plan, and some cases we have good mentors who help students come up with the best results for the business plan, right? That's about it. Then I should tell you about resources. The question is, where do I get the resources? Okay, I told you in marketing there is 4 P's. In entrepreneurship, there is something else similar to this. I'll ask Vuna. Vuna, you're there. What is business? What is resources? For a businessman, what is a resource? Hmm. Like, can you give me an example? What does a hospital? Yeah, obviously. What? Okay, no problem. Let's say, yes, you're right. So you need business. Let's say in your case, a hospital, they need land, right? Let's say behind our college, we have a Regal Hospital. Most of you have seen that. They have a building, they have land, they have capital, they have the cash to pay salaries, they have the cash, they get money from their patients. That, mind you, that's the model. And without resources, you cannot run a business. And most companies, maybe the businessman doesn't have money, but he has a wonderful idea and he gets cloud funding. The biggest mistake in this 2020 recession is most big business ideas have flopped. 1 year back, I did not believe a business idea like Swiggy, like Ola, would also flop because of this issues which are happening. Ola is talking about cutting thousands of jobs. Uber is talking about cutting jobs. Swiggy is talking about cutting jobs. I thought these are very recession proof businesses, but what has happened is as this disease spreads more, people want to cook food at home. They don't want to order food from outside, they want to cook food at home. So all these business ideas have become flops. And when you talk about resources, my I as an entrepreneur should think, where am I going to get the money from for running my business? Where am I going to get the capital for running my business? Where are my people are the greatest assets? You talk about service business, right? Restaurants, hotels, schools, colleges. The most important thing is people. Money can't buy people. Okay. So every business they should be really thinking about their people. How am I going to keep my people, especially if it's a service industry? I was really surprised the other day. Countries like United Arab Emirates, United States, UK, all these countries, they are giving citizenship to doctors, nurses. They're giving double salary to their medical professionals and so on. So what is happening is these countries, they realized all of a sudden our doctors and nurses are very important. Okay, so what they did is they started rewarding these people so that these people become also are motivated to work more. And this is what you should have. Your business, as a businessman, you should be able to use the resources. You should be able to motivate the resources, be it even if it's a restaurant, even if it's a college, even if it's a hospital. All these businesses, people are very important. I don't say other business it's not important is, but in these business, people are very important because in an airline, people are very important. Okay. Yesterday I was reading about Emirates having flights from Dubai to Melbourne. So Emirates people are excited to work. When I was just watching their interviews with some of my friends in Dubai and all, they were telling me how Emirates is really interested in serving the customers. They don't bother about diseases. They want to work along with diseases, and that shows how this company has cared for them. If somebody cares for you, you feel like working for them. Otherwise, you don't feel like working. And that's the problem with resources. Another thing I need to tell you is about growth strategies. So, growth is how do I think about expanding my business? How do I think about starting my business in new places? How do I think about starting a business and expanding by having more branches, by having more people working for me? One of the most surprising thing during this disease, which I have noticed, is there have been a lot of companies in India which have reported higher profits, especially our IT companies, especially our internet companies, our Airtel, our Vodafone, all these telecom companies. Geo is the greatest profit making venture because of this. Yeah, and how can I forget our Zoom app? Until this class started, I did not believe that an app like Zoom, you can connect so many people. And even if they make it paid, I'm sure a lot of people are going to use this for the rest of their lives to connect with people. So, what has happened here is you should have a strategy to grow. Okay, just now Zoom gave me a message that my time is getting over. And as I told the class, we'll start by 2 to 10. Usually that should be our time, because what happens, as I said, in the afternoons is around 2:40 to 50. My signals keep getting weak because of this weather patterns here. And the last topic I should teach you in this is I should teach you about exit strategies. What is an exit strategy? Mohammed Al Amin, are you there, Mohammed Al Amin? No, he's not there. Can you speak, Lamin? What is an exit strategy for a business? No answer. Salim, do you know what's an exit? Yeah, speak. Exactly. So, Today, most companies are thinking about closing themselves. As I said, I'm really surprised how Ola is making a loss, how Swiggy is making a loss. But what happens is many companies can go in loss. And the problem is when your business goes into loss, then you have no option but to do something else. And government support businesses during times of crisis. As I told you in my yesterday's class, what the Indian government has done is they have created a system wherein they have given loans to people. Okay, class, maybe I might get disconnected in the middle of this conversation. I'm not very sure about that, but there are some signal issues which I'm experiencing now. Anyway, I'll keep speaking. In case we have closed, then we can't do anything about it. Okay, so I'll continue till the signal permits me, right? So when you talk about exit strategies, you're talking about selling your business to somebody else. You're talking about maybe selling your business to some other country. There is a lot of advantages for entrepreneurs in this aspect. Okay, a lot of entrepreneurs, when they sell their businesses, they there are people to buy these businesses. Do you know any businessman who has sold his business in this crisis? Any company which has closed? Does anyone know about any company which has closed in India or anywhere in the world which has closed because of this crisis? No. Any response, guys? Somebody speak. Nobody has heard about any company. Okay. There's an airline in Australia called Virgin Atlantic. This airline has closed because of this crisis. A lot of airlines across India, across world will close down. Indian airlines are happy because we are going to resume flights from 25th. That's good news, right? That's some best news I've heard in a long time. And that makes it possible that maybe most of my students, most of people can travel, right? Or but there are benefits of this. Okay, we might be in a better position to make our economic growing. We might be in a better position that the toughest can survive. So these are some of the benefits about entrepreneurship. And thank you all for listening. Any questions? Anybody has any questions? Nobody. Private, you know. Okay, okay. I understood. Mm, mm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, you have to show because based on that, banks will give you a loan. It's not just for 1 year. In India, banks ask you for next 5 year statement. Okay, it these are mysterious figures. These are dummy figures. Okay, but to convince the bank, I should tell 2021 I might be in no profit, no loss. 21 I'll be in super profit. 22, 20,022 I'll be in very good profit. So you have to show an increase in your profit every year, right? And without these, banks don't give loans. And it should be, you should look like, your business should look like, you should look like, you should have a body language, yeah, that my business is going to click, my business is going to be the next Mukesh Ambani business, it might be the next who is that, Steve Jobs of that kind of business. That kind of interest should be there in your face when you start a business. And these figures are needed in the balance sheet, because then only you get the loans. Is it clear? Okay, guys. So, okay. No, you're doing it for your country. No, you're doing it for Afghanistan, right? Then you have to talk to your bank. You should talk to Afghanistan banks, because in India, this is our procedure. Each country procedure changes. Okay. So you should talk to your country bank and see what is the procedure. So this is the procedure in our country, and I don't think they will give a loan for your country business from here, right? But you can take soft loans from India and run your business. Is it clear? And he can take loans, provided he has some deposits in India, some cash balance, some properties, some documents, something he can do. And it's not with the local banks, not with our Indian bank or any of those banks. It's with international banks. You can do with Citibank, ANZ, Greenlace, all those international banks you can do business with, not Indian banks, not the kind of banks you see outside our college. Okay, with international banks, it's possible, right? Okay, fine. So, thank you all for listening. Have a nice day.